Hello, I'm Only Entropy, and in this Tears of the Kingdom video, I bring to you Pristine Weapons Explained, the whole system. There's quite a bit to unpack here. Use timestamps to navigate to the portion of the video that you are looking for. If you're looking for something specific, I put timestamps in my videos. Anyway, this video is about the Pristine Weapons system and how you can manipulate or control the system, at least the things that you can control, but also a little bit of side information in as much as how you can farm weapons, specific weapons, and stack them away to have as many of the specific weapon you want as you want. And to do that, well, we're going to start with something that has nothing to do with the depths or with pristine weapons. In order to give you guys the info to be able to get all the pristine weapons you want, how to best use Pellison's Break Apart shop. So, this is in Terrytown. I think you have to do the house playthrough in order for this shop to appear, which I would recommend you do in the first place. Now we're going to start with Pristine here, and he's the one on the right. This guy has the best merch. That moan, though, is you know, this guy really likes money. It's kind of creepy. Yeah, I need a shower. I just feel dirty. We're not here for Pristine, though. We're here to talk to Pellison. Misspelled his name there. This is Pristine. This is Pellison's Break Apart shop. Costs 20 rupees, and that is a bargain price. Now, you can use this system to stow away additional weapons by putting them on shields. You can hold additional weapons that your inventory will not allow. You can store additional weapons, and this also means the monster parts that are too big or heavy to put in your inventory, so you can easily put together the perfect weapon from one location and the perfect monster part from another location and make that happen more easily. But also, when you don't have enough weapon slots and there's a weapon you want, you don't have to turn your back on it. You can pick it up and take it with you. So, there's a multitude of different ways you can use Pellison's Break Apart shop, and this is the way that I recommend you use if you're going to farm the depths. These weapons on shields, you know, they're a great way of storing away extra weapons, both in your inventory and your house. And it also works for monster parts, flux cores, you name it. You know, even the spiny bone and the marbled rock roast. They make great decorations too, but it's what you would call functional art. Kind of nice though. Moving on. Force a ghost soldier to change weapons. Now sometimes when a ghost soldier keeps presenting the same weapon over and over and over again, that weapon is not going to change unless you take it. But you don't want to keep it, you don't want to break it, you want to throw it, get rid of it. Leave it Don't pick it up. Just leave it and go. Now, in this particular spot, there is a Gerudo spear that sometimes appears there, and I am trying to force that one. So, the weapons that appear in the depths are a consequence of the weapons you have obtained and broken. And it all comes down to the lunar cycles. This is how it actually works. The weapons you break in this lunar cycle will be reflected in the depths after the next blood moon. You got that? Now, ones that do appear in the depths and are not picked up will remain with that ghost soldier until they are picked up. If you go back early, you'll just find an empty pedestal. Okay? That's when the change takes place, after the blood moon. Alright? Map reading on landmarks and ghosts. Now, this is how to find them. I was a Boy Scout, and the Scout motto is be prepared. So I'm going to show you how to read a map. Now you see that's one of those octagons where you find building materials, and that's where I am. You can see it behind me. That's what you call a landmark. Now, before we continue, there are 3 types of ghost soldiers. Alright? Now this is another landmark. This is one of these large, I don't call it a pedestal. But there's about 8 or 9 of these in the game. There might be more. But these have all 3 types of soldiers. You have spear, one-handed, and two-handed weapons. Each soldier can spawn any number of different weapons, but of that type. One-hand, two-hand, or spear. Now here's how you find them on your map. You're looking for those little circles. Those are those pedestals. Now these 2 that you're looking at here, those are the small ones. Those have singular ghost soldiers on them, and that's what most of the ones on your map will look like. However, not all will be visible from your map. Some of them will be under outcroppings of rock or what have you. You know, you do want to look around, and there is no guarantee that the weapon that you are looking to force will show up at the pedestal that you are hoping it to show up at. The reason is there's a lot of these guys, and the number and frequency of weapons that you break in the lunar cycle will determine the likelihood in the next. Weapons are a regional phenomenon. Now, here is a photoshopped version of the game map. That's why it looks weird on the edges, is because that's the only way I could get the whole game map into one picture. But I'm displaying here the different weapons that are regional in the regions that they are found in. And it's pretty accurate as to the actual areas and everything. Now basically each of these types of weapons is found in each of these areas, essentially. Now what you see on top is reflected in the depths. Weapons are a regional phenomenon, and the region above determines the regional weapons that will show below, at least in regard to rare types of weapons. So each of these is going to be in the same general area, more or less. Not all of the weapons in the game are regional weapons. There are some that are what you might call universal weapons. Non-regional weapons include soldiers' weapons, knights' weapons, royal guards' weapons. And here are some of the best places you can look if you want to pick up one of those late game weapons, like the royal guards. Best chance. Anyway, keep track of the day in game, the lunar cycles. You want to know when the blood moon is coming. Now, in game, it's every 7 days, which is approximately every 3 hours of real time. And you can't really force the blood moon by sleeping or, waiting. You need to play the game, at least a little bit. And just keep an eye on the in-game clock and be ready, be conscious of it, so that the weapons you break in this lunar cycle will be reflected in the next. Now, note the data, the bottom right. This was right before the blood moon, and this is right after the blood moon. This is a cobble crusher that I was looking to force. It was Traveler's Claymore before that. And anyhow, this is kind of to demonstrate how you want to do this process if you're looking to force a change of weapon or acquire a specific weapon. But it also helps to have as many pedestal locations as possible so that you can increase your odds. Breaking additional weapons of the same type will also increase your odds of finding more of them, and so you can farm them. Say you have a hankering for Zora weapons. This is how you would pull it off. This is how you would wind up stacking a whole bunch of Zora longswords or what have you. If you wanted a bunch of these, you want to grab as many as possible and break as many as possible in one lunar cycle. Decayed or intact, either one will work. Then, in the next lunar cycle, you want to go to those depths locations and start looking. Next weekend, I will be releasing 2 videos at the same time. One video will be on the decayed weapons locations of every Zora weapon you could possibly want, including the shield and the bow as well. As to the other Zora weapons, multiple locations so that you can farm them. But also the other video will include a multitude of locations in the depths so that you can acquire the pristine version of any of these. These videos will drop next weekend so that you guys can test my hypotheses. So far, I'm batting 1,000 on this, meaning 100% success rate. Anyway, that's the pristine weapons explained. If you like this video, put a like on that shit. Check out my channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Leave a comment. Even one word helps. For those that are new here, welcome. 43 subscribers and counting. I'm only Entropy. Have a nice day.